Hi everyone, and welcome to Paper Pumpkin Week here on Creative Chelsey. Today I'm sharing with you my fourth alternative card using the January 2025 Paper Pumpkin Kit called Hearts for You. The kit creates a total of 9 cards in 3 different designs with coordinating envelopes. If you would like to watch me unbox the kit and create these cards or see any of my other alternatives, you can click on the playlist in the top right corner. Today's card features more layered hearts. I love how they all come together so beautifully. If you are new to Paper Pumpkin and are interested in getting your own monthly crafting kit, you can subscribe using the link in the description below. I love my subscribers and send them an exclusive card kit each month that includes the cardstock and embellishments they need to make 2 of my exclusive card design with the stamp set and ink spot from that month's kit. I would love to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and help you with any questions you may have about Paper Pumpkin or Stampin' Up! Products. You can contact me through my email address listed at the bottom of the description in every video. To begin creating those layered hearts, we're going to start with this piece here. This is from the kit. We're going to trim it down just a little bit. So let's begin by the top. Let's start. So this is originally just under 4 inches. And so we're going to just take off 1/8 of an inch at the top and the bottom. So 1/8 on the top, rotate it, 1/8 on the bottom. And that's going to give us a final size of 3 5/8. All right, so once we've cut the top and the bottom, we're going to go ahead and stop there. We're going to leave the length or the width of the card as is, which is 5 1/8 inches. For this card, we're going to pull in some more ink colors that coordinate with the kit. We have Flirty Flamingo and Petal Pink. I'm going to begin with Petal Pink, and I'm going to stamp this solid heart in the Petal Pink ink, just kind of randomly on my card. Let's put one here. Let's put a small one down here. Let's also do one over here. Okay, so you can really stamp those anywhere, and you can always add more after you see how it kind of all comes together. Next, I'm going to use the Flirty Flamingo, and I'm going to stamp the outline heart. So that's this one here. And that's in Flirty Flamingo, so it's a little darker color. Let's put one here. If you do get it on your glass mat, just have a little napkin or paper towel close by so you can clean it up. Let's put another one here. And we can also do one at the bottom. Maybe there. I don't know if we'll see much of that, but it's good to kind of fill up some of this space. All right, so 3 extra hearts from each stamp. Next, we're going to bring in those extra marble pieces from that card base that we used. Let me think. I think that was from alternative number 2. So we have this little tiny 1/8 of an inch strip, and I wanted to add it just at the bottom to give a little more color and interest. So just a couple dots of liquid glue. You could also use some really small glue dots. And it's not 1/8 of an inch. I think it's more like a 1/16 of an inch. It's really tiny. If yours is bigger, that's okay too. Just lay it down right over the bottom, making sure the edges all match. Once you have it in place, you can trim off any excess with a pair of paper snips. Just like that. Then you're going to take the larger piece. We're going to cut it so that it can fit behind these hearts. And there's only 3 hearts, so make it a little wider so that you can put a little liquid glue and it will stay in place. So it doesn't have to be like there's no right or wrong, just you want to be able to put some glue. So either liquid glue or glue dots. just on each side near the edge of each piece so that when you add it, it can hold in place. Okay, so it's covering up those openings. Just like that. So pretty easy, not too difficult. And now what we've done is we've added some more textures, we've added some stamping, we've got a little bit of that pattern at the bottom. It's really cute. This is what it looks like from behind. Let's go ahead and put that off to the side and work a little bit on the card base itself. So this card base, I used one of the envelopes to get that bright real red pattern in the background. So we're going to begin with the envelope and we're going to trim off all the folded edges. Just trim the smallest amount off. Okay, so even like just the tiniest amount. And that's going to open up so that you have a front, which is the front with the label, and the back. And hold on to the back for a future card. And now we're going to trim this down to fit our card base. So that's going to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 because it's a full card front. So let's start on one end. Whoops, sorry about that. So 4 1/4 and then 5 1/2. That should be fine. So we have now this center piece, and if you noticed, I used that envelope piece here for the label. So you're going to want to cut this out without cutting around the outside edge. So we're just going to create a hole here in the middle. And I like to do this by, let's see, it can be a little tricky, but if you can just kind of eyeball the edge of the white label to the inside of your cut line, you're going to get just a little bit of a red border around it. So then you're going to lift up your paper trimmer, move your blade into the middle of your paper, and then you press down and cut just a little bit up and just a little bit below your label. And you can see how you get a little bit of a red border there. Then rotate, and you're going to do the same thing. Place it right along that edge of your guide, and then lift up, cut, and cut. And that should give you a nice clean corner here. Rotate and repeat. Now, if it's not perfect, you could always just hand cut. You could do a little larger cut around and then hand cut around it. There's lots of little options to getting this white label out from the center. And you can see that I did go a little beyond there, so I'm going to have to put that on my left edge because I went a little crazy and kind of overcut that. Okay, so we've got our label out. Let's go ahead and add to our card base. So I've got my card base of thick, basic white cardstock. Again, I need to place that overcut on the left side because we're pushing all of our kind of our focal point all to the left, and we're leaving the border on the top, the right, and the bottom. Make sure it all lines up on all sides, and then it gets smoothed out. So that's what it's going to look like before we add our center piece. So for this, I have a quick little tip. So I didn't want my corners to be square like this. I wanted them to mimic the shape of the label. So I found a small circle punch. This is a 1/2 inch circle punch. If you have this, then you can use it. If you don't have something like this, then you could just fussy cut out. But what you do is you look for the edge, just like that, and then just pull it out just a little bit more, and it's going to give you, just kind of mimics that corner. Let me show you what it looks like if you do fussy cut. Give it just a little border, and then rotate around and cut that out. So both look really good. I like the ease of the punch. Again, you're going to look for the edge. So you just line it up on the edge and then pull it out just a little bit, trying to keep it nice and even. You do get a little bit of a surprise when you're done punching because you don't get to see how much space you're actually giving it, but I think it looks pretty good. So either one of those techniques to just kind of round out that label so you kind of mimic its shape. Let's go ahead and add this piece now to our card base. And again, we're even spacing on the top, the bottom, and the right side. So just kind of keep that in mind. It's going to go all the way to the left edge. So I guess the right edge actually will have a little more space than the top and bottom, but you do want it just all the way to the left. Do your best. Okay, so there is that card base. Then we're going to go ahead and stamp our greeting in real red on our label. And because I have a little more space, I'm going to go with my larger greeting, which is "You have my heart." And you can just put it right in the center of your label. Just like that. Let's go ahead and add it to our card base with dimensionals. So I'm just using the edges of my dimensional pack. And it is really large, so I probably will be covering up some of these hearts here. Just place it in an area that looks good to you. Bring it down just a little bit. Okay, I kind of like the way that looks there. Then we're going to take just a couple more hearts and pop them up with dimensionals. So I have kind of this animal print Flirty Flamingo heart, as well as the inside heart from that outside one. So this one kind of has a little funky look to it. Because it's not really intended to be used. So I kind of feel like what it needs is more of a point here in the middle. So I'm going to take my paper snips and just follow that edge all the way down a little bit more into the center of the heart. And I think that looks good now. So I took out the rounded, do you see how the original has a rounded tip in the middle? And I just brought it down a little further. And if you want to, you could even like kind of shave off a little bit of the height of the heart, but I think it works just as it is here. I'm going to add it to my label, but I do need to add a dimensional to the edge just to support it. So it doesn't stick and it's like half on, half off kind of thing. So let's go about there. Just like that. That's really cute. And then let's add our Flirty Flamingo heart, couple dimensionals. Add one to each top. I'm going to leave the bottom without any dimensionals because it's going to go over my label as well. I'm going to bring it down into this space here. There we go. You could also add some of the little hearts if you want. Let's take a couple. I didn't add them to the original, but I think I'm going to have plenty. I was a little worried that I might not have enough. I could put one here, maybe one up here in the corner. Let's put 2 on the label. There we go. So just like that. You could do as many as you wanted, depending on how many you have left over. We are going to use them, I think, for one more card, so just keep that in mind. And this card is all done. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching me create this fun card today. If you're interested in getting written instructions or close-up images on how I created this card, you can visit my blog, creativechelsey.com. If you would like to subscribe to get your own paper pumpkin kit, please do so using the link in the description box below. Thanks so much for watching. Have a creative day. Bye.